Figured now's a good time to explain how this vacuum gauge and this power valve work hand in hand. And before we get started, let me say, I know a lot of y'all are going to say, just block off the power valve, jet it up, don't worry about it, it's not worth the headache. Well, to me, that's not really tuning. That's just band-aiding a problem and cramming more fuel down its throat than it really needs. So if that's your way of doing it, good for you. This is not going to be the video for you. Come back and check me out on a later video. But this is for the people that want to learn how to tune with a power valve. And a power valve is nothing more than a vacuum operated switch that is either open or closed, depending on how much vacuum the front of this diaphragm receives. When it's mounted in the metering block, it regulates fuel flow to these two holes, also known as power valve restrictors. In higher end carburetors, these are tunable and adjustable with very tiny jets. Eventually makes itself to the main well. But that doesn't happen until the engine demands it, and that's all determined by vacuum load. And in this case, this is a 6.5 power valve, which means as long as the front side of this valve receives 6.5 inches of vacuum, it's going to remain closed. As soon as that vacuum drops below 6.5 inches, this valve is going to begin to open and allow additional fuel to enter the main well. So let's take a look at how it's mounted inside the main body. When the metering block is bolted to the main body, the power valve sits in this pocket right here. And if you'll notice, there's a couple tiny vacuum ports at the bottom that receives straight manifold vacuum from the bottom side of the base plate. So for demonstration purposes, we're going to look at it like this without the metering block. And the power valve sits in that cove, just like that. And it receives manifold vacuum, which in turn keeps that valve shut. But the second that you crack that throttle and engine vacuum starts to drop, that spring takes over and allows that power valve to open and enriching the fuel mixture. Some common ones, 6.5 and 8.5. So what's going to happen is with a higher power valve rating, such as an 8.5 to a 10.5, the higher number is going to bring that fuel curve in, or that rich mixture in, sooner rather than later. So the higher up you go in power valve means the sooner that the fuel is going to be added to the mixture. But to determine exactly what your engine wants, you're going to need a vacuum gauge for that. And to take that vacuum reading, you want your engine to be at operating temperature. For automatic transmissions, you want to be in gear with your foot on the brake, and you want to take the highest manifold vacuum reading and divide that by 2. You can tune with these power valves instead of just blocking them off. A lot of times you'll see that commonly on a secondary metering block, as in this case, it's not even drilled for a secondary power valve, but I always use the primary side.